Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What's going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain world? Tell you what, Trump crypto strategy. Trump, big supporter of the crypto right now, and it's going to be game changing come 2024. A lot of important things that have to be discussed over 2024. XRP hype. What's going on in this space? XRP. It's nonstop XRP hype. The last one that was talked in the community, $10,000 price target. Big question mark. What the heck's going on with that? And then a 50 billion burn. Who even is posting this stuff anymore? It's getting out of hand. And then there's another lawsuit, SEC v. Kraken. We're going to get into that a little bit. Bunch of other great things. Trump 2024.
Something happened with Rumble.
Rumble's not streaming. Rumble is not streaming. Everything was set up correctly.
I don't know what happened.
He was right. Everything was right. Now it's not streaming.
I was like, that's weird.
No Rumble tonight.
Ready? Let's play the Sunday night theme. Ready? Let's go. Hey, let's go. It was so good, we got to play it again. Yeah, we're wound up today, man. Wound up, baby.
That's right. We were on Coffee Talk.
That was awesome. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It's great. I love those guys, man. It really was great hanging out with Berserker and Bags out in Australia. I really love those guys, man. Everybody on that stream, cool. Such a cool vibe they got going, man. It's just just very honored to be part of it. I loved it.
Vincent, I almost watched the entirety of Die Hard with a Vengeance while waiting for
All right, Vince Scully. Sorry. Well, sometimes what happens is Jeff and I get talking too much. Jeff's like, we got to go live. And I'm like, all right. A lot of times it's actually, there's some technical things going on, believe it or not. We had that with Panos yesterday. We had some technical things we're trying to solve. And, it happens from time to time. But there's a couple of things. Let's get into some crypto news here. Let's do some crypto before we go into the full-on 100% geopolitical side of it, Jeff. Which happens. That does happen. There's that bit of it. Bill Morgan posted this one here. The decision in the SEC v. Kraken today is another endorsement of Judge Torres' reasoning and the SEC v. Ripple decision that the token itself is not a security. Like, why is that such a hard thing to understand? Again, it's the scheme. And John Deaton hit this home a lot of time. It's the way you package it. And the oranges, in the Howie case, the oranges were not the security. It was the scheme in which they were packaged up and the way that they were, sold. If you work the land, you could do that. Oh, be right back. That's good. Crypto, well, good to see you here. I was worried that our
camping in Spain.
And the Wi-Fi is not working again?
Wi-Fi.
Come on, man.
Had Wi-Fi in the woods.
What is going on with that?
Mark Hayes, what's up? Oasis reunion. The UK is
dude. I'm one of the biggest Oasis fans. I'm telling you, man. I saw. Well, I didn't know that that's what it was, but I saw Noel Gallagher. I just liked his post. He put the date on there. Is that what we're talking about there, Mark? Because I saw the date on there, and I was like, I was trying to see exactly what that was. I knew something big's coming, so that'd be really cool. I did see them in 2000, maybe 98. 99. Nice. I saw him at Pompano Beach Amphitheater, Jeff, if you could believe it.
Pompano.
That's a small venue too.
That's still there.
Well, it was back in the day. I don't know. I saw Smash Mouth there too. Back in the day, I hung out with that dude. He was a raging alcoholic back then, so it's no surprise that alcohol took him out because he was hammered beyond all hammered. He just passed away, I think, last year from alcoholism. So. He was just never got help.
Oh, wait. Remove the desk. I'm going to remove Rumble because...
Oh, I'll be buzzing too, man. That was... by the way, that one guy that made that... We can't play it here, but he made the latest Beatles tune. He took the Oasis version of it. I'll have to throw that, Mark. You hit me up on DMs if you haven't heard that because it's he took AI. He did both of the brothers' voices. It was pretty cool. Celebration. Are we talking about Celebration? Celebration Florida?
Celebrate good times.
Good times. Come on. Yeah. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And got Island Ghost. Stephanie, what's going on?
Oh, Island's here. Yeah, she was in the stream today too. Sup, glitches? You say glitches or bitches? What's up, bitches? There it is right there. Pompano Beach Amphitheater was a great venue to see concerts. Yeah. Well, that's where I saw Oasis, man.
Man,
That was a great show. I'll tell you, it was phenomenal. Really enjoyed it. I was thinking like I'm gonna go see Oasis. I was supposed to see. This is so funny, Jeff. So this is like if you live in if you understand like UK and you understand like music and you're into like the UK, because I still think the best music ever comes from the UK. It's just my personal opinion. I'm sticking to it. But I was a big fan of the Verve too, and I was super excited to go see Richard Ashcroft back in the day. And he was gonna open for Coldplay. And honestly, I mean Coldplay is a good band. Like if it's playing in the background, you'd be cool. But it is honestly to this day the worst concert I've ever been to is a Coldplay. And they changed it out for some other dude like a week before the show. Super happy to go see Richard Ashcroft play live. Nope. No, they switched it off for ended up being some dude. I don't even know who it was. It was horrible. But yeah, Ashcroft's awful. I still haven't seen Richard Ashcroft though. Also a big Norder fan, you know.
Good, Island saying, nice to see
Oh,
you.
oh,
I
you
did
wanted
tell
to
you
talk about
something before you left.
Oh, sorry about that stuff. Listen, you know what happened is my before I got on there, my neighbor said, "Hey, I'm going to be over at this time." And he brought some beers and he was going to help me with a project in the house. So I was like, it was weird as I texted him like, "Hey, can you give me another half hour?" But he drove up and it was too.
Look at that. Daughter
Oh, there you
performing
go. Very good.
at the
Very
Pro
good. Now,
Bowl.
don't get me wrong about Coldplay. I love the band. I have all their albums. I'm just saying, as a concert. Well, part of it was I saw him at the Miami. Jeff, what's that Miami? Where the Miami basketball team, college basketball.
I have no idea what it's called now.
It had just opened up, and they had no beer, no alcohol, no nothing.
That sucks.
Well, that might have contributed to my. I was like, you couldn't even get a beer and enjoy Coldplay.
But, and the only concert that I've seen since we've been here in Florida is Bon Jovi. That's it.
Dude, I'm so sorry you said that.
I haven't seen any other concerts here in South Florida. However, before I left Detroit, I saw Metallica when they were there.
I saw Metallica 3 times in Florida, dude.
In Florida, man, I saw it at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Oh my gosh, the Silverdome, yeah. I saw them. I actually saw them outside twice outside. Yeah. You know where the where that government cut is, where the ships come in? There's that big park there. I saw Metallica there. Nice. They were awesome. It was a beautiful day. That was a great concert. I've seen the Chili Peppers
5 times. Yeah,
all right, there you go. That's good. Sweet. By the way, it's so funny because I had this really serious business call, and it was like, and we were getting it. He was using an analogy. He goes, you know how if you use like Spotify, he goes, you know how like if you use like Spotify, and let's suppose like he was talking about like how Spotify and like Netflix, like how they learn, like machine learning, how it works. And he said Metallica, and I leaned in a little bit. I was like, okay, go on. He's like, you know how like it'll pick like bands or like songs like that? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, by the way, how many times have you seen Metallica? I've seen them 6 times. I go, I saw them 3. And so we started having this whole business conversation just shifted to Metallica. And then I sent him there's a great, it happened this past March. It was a tribute to Elton John. Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Bernie Taupin wrote all the lyrics. Elton John wrote all the music and sang it. They were sitting in the first row, and Metallica played Funeral for a Friend, and it was just phenomenal. I don't know if you saw that. Stephanie, but it's a great. So what do? I don't shoot him a business email. I shoot him an email like, hey, go watch this right now.
You know what else I saw? I took my dad to the Moody Blues.
Oh, the Moody Blues are great, man.
See, he loves the Moody Blues.
The Moody Blues, that's good. He's got a good taste in music. He sure as hell doesn't, listen to Bon Jovi, Jeff.
No,
your dad's way cooler being into the Moody Blues. I got news for you. And Pink Floyd, man. I mean, gosh, how could you not love Pink Floyd? I'll get you both the tickets. You can make it to Manchester. Oh, dude, I will go to Manchester for that, baby.
When's a concert?
Manchester's my groove. I don't know, but I definitely would go see that. By the way, Manchester's like, I've never been to Manchester, but the coolest bands of all time have come out of Manchester, dude. There's no doubt about that.
Damn.
New Order, Manchester.
A suite at the Silverdome. And we had a suite for Prince back in the day.
Yeah, so
McCartney, I think it was at the I think it was at the Silverdome also.
Yeah, McCartney's great. I remember telling my eldest daughter, she was a big Beatles fan, and I don't know how that happened, Jeff. Might have might have been someone's influence, but anyway, I said, listen, if Paul's touring and it's like your senior year, we're going to go see him. He happened to be in Orlando, got these amazing seats for it. And it was just amazing to watch like one or two tunes. Like I could see her like tearing up. Like she was so emotionally moved by it. It was really cool to see that.
Jim, can you amp up the volume about 20%? I'm in a noisy jazz. It's always in a jazz venue Sunday evenings. Can't hear. Earbuds maxed out. Maybe you got to ask them to turn their music down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we can. I don't know. How do we do that, Jeff? I don't know. Oh, you know what?
I don't know. We might then be too loud for everybody else.
If you have the earbuds in, put the noise cancel on. That'll help. That'll cut some of the. If you got the Apple ones, if you click and hold, it'll do the noise cancel.
There you go.
I don't know how we can amp up and blow everyone else's eardrums out, but anyway, squirrel, Jeff. We saw a squirrel and we went for it. But anyway, so
and an hour has passed. Oh, we saw that.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate you being here. It was awesome. So, yeah, fundamentally, the Kraken's case made the same distinction as the Ripple case. Token
dog bark. I hear a dog bark.
Yeah, what's weird, you shouldn't hear the dog bark, but again, that's because all of the settings are not working. You know what, Jeff? It screwed it up again.
Yep.
How did it change it again?
That's so funny. I
just changed it back 3 seconds ago. Oh, you know what?
That's why, because Chip has a different mic going.
Okay, there you go. That's what it. Okay.
Oh my God, what a difference! Okay. I thought it was my headset.
No, Jeff, you didn't tell me. Like you told me the first time, and I changed it, and it switched it back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now but it was getting real tinny, and I'm like, why is it so
I don't know.
tinny?
Well,
and then I heard the dog bark.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You don't hear dogs barking now. Do you hear them? No. We're good.
Yeah.
I know. Well, the thing is, it wasn't using this mic, and it keeps switching the settings. Can you make some software that doesn't switch the settings?
Noisy
jazz venue, but I repeat myself. Yeah, that's the way it goes, people. Yeah, so we had a big Guns N' Roses was supposed to be opening.
Guns N' Roses, come on,
dude. What happened to Axl Rose? Like he doesn't. I don't even know who he is anymore. I go, this is Axl Rose, and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Someone put out a funny tweet. It was like Axl Rose and somebody else, and they said they look like the two. They look like they should be on that show. What was that show back in the 80s about those old women that lived together? I don't know what it was called, but it was like, they look like a couple of old ladies. I don't know. He's weird looking. I don't know. It's really, he's an awkward dude. I don't know what his deal is.
Two ladies.
But Jeff, we got to, this whole thing is getting a little bit out of hand, dude, because we got this guy, and who is this guy, Levi Crypto, dude? All of a sudden he's everywhere, breaking.
Everywhere. But look, hover over, look at how many he's got. Look at his followers. People are a little bit shocked. 116,000 followers.
Anybody can buy followers, Jeff.
I figured he was posting that. I know, but I figured he was posting maybe being a little funny. There was a joke to it. There was something. And then you're reading it like there's no joke.
Dude, who wears glasses like that anymore?
There's nothing.
Those are like glasses from like the 70s. Those big goofy glasses like that. Who the hell wears that? Come on, dude.
I don't know.
So this guy's everywhere, right? He's like the hyper now H-bar, the most undervalued coin in the market right now. Oh my God. Here's 8 reasons why.
Why it's
news.
Undervalued.
Bank of America has made its return to Ripple's website, and they already hold a patent. Dude, this is like so old, bro. This guy's just coming into
there's stuff from the
why XRP is superior to CBDCs. Like,
oh my God.
If you agree. This doesn't even make sense. Then, like, why would you compare a CBDC to XRP? It makes 0 sense to even do this. Unlimited supply, limited supply of 100 billion.
Why is one relevant to the other?
This is decentralized.
Right. Yeah. That's making an assumption that XRP is going to become a government asset.
Yeah, they're just going to come. Remember, do you remember, Jeff, all the nut jobs out there, and there are plenty of them that were saying this. You know what's going to happen? The SEC is going to take the escrow. They're just going to confiscate it. I'm like, okay, explain the law and the reasoning behind how they're going to actually do that? Like legally, they're going to do that? Nobody sort of knew. But do you remember them saying, Jeff, they're going to take the escrow. They're going to make them burn the escrow.
Government's going to take it. It's going to be, obviously there was a gold confiscation at one point in history, but now they're going to come for the XRP. They're going to confiscate all the XRP globally.
Sure. Yeah, that's going to happen.
First, they got to take the escrow.
But anyway,
the only ones that can force the burn of the escrow is through the validators. You can have a vote. They could vote to have it all burned.
They could, yeah.
Someone's
So-
got to raise that. Let's
So
raise it.
this is what's funny because they'll be forced. They could be forced. They could be. Yeah, and a
Could be.
meteor could hit tomorrow.
they-
It could, but
Right.
it's probably not going to. But look, it'll
And it
catapult the price to 10,000. Dude, can we hit 75 cents first? Like, let's hit $1, and then let's start talking about
Immediately.
$1.50. Okay.
How did that work out for Stellar? Remember Stellar burned
Yeah.
half their supply?
The price dropped, if I recall.
It's
The
still
price-
hovering around 10 cents.
Yeah, they burned half the supply. And they're like, there's 100 billion, there's 50 billion, there's 50 billion. Look at this. Post like this should be banned if it isn't free speech. It's straight up a lie. This is what look. I people like this have the right to say whatever they want, but we have the right to say that it's nonsense, you know. But I'm not for censoring people. I'm not for this is disinformation. If you remove from no, I'm not. That's not me, man. I'm not doing that stuff.
It's getting so old. It's so old. The
Oh, look
fact
at
that he's just sick of the shillers.
look at this.
Agreed.
Look at this. Stuff. He said, I got in a fight with X join the club. Who hasn't been in a fight? Matt could go into an empty room and get in a fight with himself. Like he was just, he'd see a mirror and start yelling stuff to it. I'm going to tell Chip the only time I ever put in a timeout was here, and you did an interview with XR Doge people, and Matt and I were fighting. Yeah, I remember those guys. Yeah, I think they did a rug pull.
XR Doge.
That was a
trying to
long. That was
remember the
years.
XR
That was
Doge.
years ago. My God, that was a
Who were
long
the
time
XR
ago.
Doge people? Remember that one? We had to cancel the interview in the middle.
Yeah, because he's like he couldn't answer a question. He was all over the place. That was some XR Gold, something like that. I don't remember that. Zed's dead. Zed's dead.
That-
Makes XRP great again. Stop following these ridiculous
right.
shillers. There you go.
That's right.
First Japan, then the
Doge is
word
still around.
pinky. Mwah, ha, 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 ha.
XR Doge is up almost 10% today.
That was a long
A
time
lot
ago.
of ups and downs, ups and downs. I don't remember it at all. I don't even
Jeff.
remember XR Doge.
We had him on here.
It's gone.
How the heck do you have 100,000 followers posting stuff like this? Yeah, and that's a good question. It will never happen. DS, what are you talking about? You know, he's just getting, but you know, every time someone puts a comment here, it's engagement, and that's why these shillers do it, because you get the.
That's why.
But this guy Haku said, I asked Grok, tell me about Ripple could be forced to burn. Ripple could potentially be forced to burn 50 billion in escrow if the majority of the XRP ledger validators and the community agree to such a measure, as suggested by
There you
Ripple's
go.
CTO.
Yeah.
Well, at least just putting at least Grok is getting it right. It could, right? It would have to put it up for vote.
Yep.
Jeff said, made up unnamed sources say, hey, alien astronaut sources say,
Made up on him. So
oh, that's a damn line. You know it. Source. There's not. I always like on the unnamed sources. Hey, Jeff, I heard this
Right, yeah.
unnamed source. Tap me on the shoulder.
sources say.
Do you remember who it was? It was somebody. I don't know. Somebody was. How about this one? Someone close to the campaign said.
That's right.
So you
That's
know
always
someone
the
that's
best
close
one.
to the campaign, but you can't put their name into it? Sure. Mac attack, not true. None of it's. But look at the engagement, man. This guy posts something like this, and holy cow, Jeff! It's just nonstop.
Non-stop.
Look at
It's
this.
amazing.
Look at this.
Clickbait.
It's insanity.
That's way too much.
Holy cow. I honestly don't even know how many comments there are, but there you go. That's how you make money on X. You just post garbage stuff and people 700 comments, Jeff. I can't tell you the last time I put a post up that had 700 comments. 700.
331,000 views. But you post something like that and you get the views. I mean,
How about
you
this?
could just be posting it for
490.
the hell of it.
How about almost 500 reposts? Yeah, 2.3 thousand people liking it. Listen, don't worry about people like this. There's a very big audience for this kind of stuff.
Made money with garbage.
Well, a lot of people do it. I mean, it's like, it's fine. I mean, meanwhile, we lose about 10 to 15. We're going to drop below 25,000 subscribers. We got up to 26,250, and we've been
We're on
dropping
almost
every single week. Nobody. So we apparently don't have any new subscribers, and only people unsubscribe, according to YouTube. That's
According to
that's
YouTube.
what's going on, right?
For every one we gain, YouTube takes two.
Yeah, and they're not and they don't follow up any recent videos, right? They weren't actually watching a video; they just fall off magically. So there you go. I'm not saying anything is fishy's going on, but something's something there. I don't know, Jeff.
This kid that knows my cousin's friend said 10K by end of year.
Yeah,
Come
bro.
on,
Bro, it must be true. Must be true, bro.
That's the one time.
Bandcamp. That was a Bandcamp.
Mark,
Levi
listen to
vids.
2 Levi vids this
You listen to
morning.
2 of them? and said to myself, why did I
Right
just
away.
waste 20 minutes? You'll
Man.
never get those 20 minutes back, dude.
Ever.
I'm shocked you watched. What made you watch the second one? I can see watching the first one, like, I'm kind of semi-curious. The second
Gotta
one?
watch the second one just to make sure that the first one was really bad. Maybe, just to confirm it was a fluke.
Lower
or not a
levels
fluke.
in, hanging with lower level earlier. What going on, dude? It was cool hanging with those boys.
Man, you got crypto. Well, he's
gals.
in Greece, Spain, took a boat over to Italy. He's
Peter
all over the
Savaki.
place on this. It's on a nice road
And
trip.
he still
all
manages
the
to
way
get
from-
on Twitch. That's some heavy commitment right there.
Man,
brother.
it logs into our show yet. He's on a camping trip. He's sitting out there,
Dude, how cool is that? You can have an open
that's-
fire. So you're camping, you're in Greece,
Watching us.
and you got on the chain on. Proper. That is proper right there. For sure.
do that.
Of course, if it was on
Saw it on
YouTube.
YouTube. If it's on YouTube or X or whatever, it's 100% factual.
Of course it is, Jeff. I saw it on there. It has to be true. It has to be true. Yeah, so it's video time, Jeff. I'm gonna put a video on there. I want to play that one about
You know what I
the
forgot to play?
donations.
Damn it.
Is it something you can get? Can you get
What's
to
that?
it? I want to play this one off of CNBC. This is it.
Right, a short, funny segment to introduce that our
Elizabeth
next
Warren is really
segment
losing
is
it.
clickbait
She was at the
time.
DNC crying like a little baby because I think when she looked out there, she said, "This is all going
You didn't
away."
hear the music.
When John Deaton beats me,
You couldn't
So,
hear any of that, could you?
I couldn't hear any of it. No, because I've got
It's the clickbait music.
I can't hear it.
He's playing clickbait time.
My filter,
People
it totally. I don't know. Blocked it out.
Of all the
You
corporate
can't hear
money
that.
being pumped
That's
into
crazy.
this year's election is coming from the crypto industry, according to a new report from the nonprofit watchdog group Public Citizen. Now, the sector, which has been under high scrutiny by the Biden administration, is outspending big oil and banks this cycle, with Koch Industries in a distant second place in terms of corporate contributions. Heavyweights like Coinbase, Ripple, and VC firm Andreessen Horowitz, which has a sizable crypto book, have collectively given more than $146 million with the goal of trying to get candidates who are friendly to the industry into office. Now, most of that corporate money being raised is going to the popular and bipartisan pro-crypto super PAC called Fairshake, which is
They're
one of
not
the top spending PACs this
nonpartisan.
year. I spoke to their team last night to get the latest numbers on the 4 largest donors to Fairshake and its associated PACs. Coinbase has contributed $49 million. A16Z and Ripple have both given $47 million each, and Jump Crypto put in $15 million. Now, as for where all that money is going, a filing with the
Where'd it
Federal
go?
Election
Where did it
Commission
all
this
go?
week showed that in July, Fairshake dispersed almost $75 million and still has nearly
To
$120
who?
million
Yeah,
left to
find
deploy,
out.
with 73 days to go until the November election. The super PAC has pledged $25 million from that pool of cash to 18
Why is it
House
open way
candidates
over
in the
there?
general election to be split among 9 Democrats and 9 Republicans. It's committed another $18 million to 3 Senate races, Joe.
Yeah. Okay. So, but the most they're talking about this race in Ohio. Yes, it's
Open
important.
secret.
Sherrod Brown is a complete asshat. He's against crypto, and they always introduce him as Elizabeth Warren's protege or lackey or whatever, like second in command. Yet, why aren't they giving money to John Deaton, and why aren't they helping him get over the edge? And why aren't they supporting him in the primary to take her down? He's the only one that can. Not that lightweight Ian Kane, the Democrat plant. He's not doing anything. And there's a third person in that race. And nobody knows the name because, it's forgettable. Deaton's the only one that matters, and Deaton really can pull this off. And we need to get behind him to look. Donate $5 to his campaign, even if you don't. If you're in the U.S., obviously, but make a donation. Let's listen to the rest of this.
They're claiming nothing.
So we're in the sprint now, Mackenzie. That's what we just said. Yesterday, we had 75 days. I think 74 qualifies. With 74 days, how many hours, guys? 17 hours,
What time do they consider election day?
22 minutes.
Ooh, you hear that question? What do they consider election day?
Right.
Sad but true.
And 6 seconds. I can't, Mackenzie, but that is a sprint. And I don't know what happens now. Do you, in terms of crypto or anything else? I'd like to know a lot about what everybody's going to do. I do need to know more. I'm joyous because I have a great job. Kelly's
Happy.
Joyous. Remember that was the DNC thing, the joyous one. They stole it right out of the Nazi playbook. Yeah, joyous.
here. I'm joyous every day. I have a great family, but I need to know something. I need to know about crypto. Do we know is Gensler going to be Treasury Secretary, Mackenzie? Can you break that news here?
That is shocking.
Well, what I can tell you is that last month I was in Nashville and Donald Trump was headlining the biggest Bitcoin event of the year. When he was last in office, he called Bitcoin a scam. He's had this big about face that has coincided with the tens of millions of dollars that have been pouring into the race from crypto companies.
You see, they got to you notice there's not one word about Harris and the Democrats being anti-crypto since the beginning of time. No.
Right.
Donald Trump once called it a scam, but he's had it about face. Well, why don't you tell us about the supposed about face to Harris? I call it the Harris Biden administration. The balloons are going, Jeff. You missed them.
Oh, I missed them.
You missed them. You missed them. The balloons.
Secret. I'm looking at Open Secret on Fair Shake, and just to show how slanted and twisted it is.
Confetti, baby. Yeah, they're
twisted.
And I guarantee you, they're giving it to this many Republicans and this many Democrats. But if you track the money, I bet you the majority of the money is going to, we know how that works.
We know exactly where it went. We know where 10 million of it went.
Yeah, we all know.
It didn't go
and he said during that speech that he planned to oust Gensler from his post of chair were he to take office. But what's really interesting here is the fact that 4 companies are dominating the spend. So Fair Shake, that pack I just told you about, that has a $120 million war chest. There are 4 companies accounting for more than 93% of that cash. And these are companies that are battling the SEC. Ripple and Coinbase have actively been in courtrooms.
Yeah, Kraken was Kraken on that list? I don't think so.
Against Gensler. And so what we're really seeing here is that it's not necessarily that crypto is an issue that's going to sway voters in battleground states or districts, but they're opening their purse strings and they're making crypto.
Yeah, and they're giving it to a partisan organization called Fair Shake, which isn't fair. And it's run by the guy who used to be Chucky Schumer's lackey and the former disgraced governor of New York.
So here's the problem. Against Democrats got 13 million, but we know that 10 million went to a Democrat primary.
That's why because that was against the Democrat.
It's against
so this
the
is
Democrats.
how they. So 10 million of that was it's not fair.
We'd have to account for the rest because we don't know who they were primarying because we're in a primary season right now. Then 4 Democrats, 629,000. But remember, the PAC bought ad campaigns against the candidate. So it was against a Democrat, but it was in a primary in favor of a Democrat, but it wasn't a contribution to.
But where's the money that she was just talking about in July? Where's that money? There's no, you can only do 2024. There's no way to break it down. I mean, come on, man.
It's not even coming up. Like, here's what total raised. What is green? It's total raised $202 million raised. 93 million has been spent. But then when you look at the expenditures, and again, this is just based on what Open Secret is pulling up. But if we go to candidate recipients, nothing. Donors, you can see where the money came from. Then we go to expenditures. So expenditures, look at all this. You can see all, where they're spending the money, not a lot of administrative, etc. But it gets down into top vendors and recipients. Targeted platform media got 13 million. Defend American Jobs, 10.1. So which was the one that was supporting what's his name? So who are all these organizations?
Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff.
Shifty Schiff.
Yeah, who's in no danger of losing that primary, by the way.
And then who is, targeted?
To be fair, Jeff, Shifty Schiff had one comment he made in March, right before he got the 10 million, that was pro crypto.
Right.
One comment.
But this is crazy. They gave 13 million. They're the biggest supporters of this organization called Targeted Platform Media. So now we got to go and research. You got to research each and every one of these entities. Defend American Jobs got 10 million. I think this is the one that supported Shifty Schiff, right? That was in May.
Yeah, well, they can't give it directly.
Payment?
Yeah,
maybe
I don't know.
Maybe not because that was
that was in March. That was in
payment.
April or whatever.
Yeah,
but whatever. Let's move on from that. I want to put Elizabeth Warren. She got into it with Joe. What's his name? Joe K from CNBC. Listen, man, if you don't think this woman is flustered, first of all, she gets up on the
down.
DNC and she's whining like a little Indian baby. She was crying, fake Indian. She was crying. And here we go. She was doing some kind of rain dance and then produced rain. I don't know. But this is her on here with CNBC and Joe K.
Can paint you a picture of how that would work and how it's worked in the past.
Now, just Jeff, I want you to just look at how smug this witch is.
Oh, yeah.
Look at her
The
face.
look on her face. Oh,
Look at her face.
Down her nose. Oh yeah.
She's like, she feels like she's up here. She's better than everybody else. She interrupts. She's dismissive. I mean, Joe, you don't give them a chance to speak. You don't answer their questions. You don't engage. Like, all she wants to do is live in this sort of leftist sort of echo chamber that she's a part of. So anybody that's outside of that, she starts getting all crazy. It's time to move on from this type of behavior. And it's time to endorse and vote for John Deaton for Senate. But just watch this interview. Look at with the smug smile. Watch this, Jeff.
Where we've tried to artificially hold prices down, competition doesn't come in. People don't, like if beef is too high, people don't move the chicken. The competitors don't come in to undercut where the beef prices are. Nothing works when you try to artificially control prices. It's just a supply and demand issue. It's a flawed idea.
So did you have a question here?
Yeah.
Look at the smugness. Karma goes circular. We can start the show, Jeff.
That's right.
Listen how smug she is. Did you have a question? He's telling her that you're supporting a woman who got up at the DNC and tell you that she supports Soviet-style price, fixing, right? As soon as they did that in the Soviet Union, what happened? Massive hunger is what happened. And they did it in Venezuela, the same thing. Like, just do a little research. Just do a couple Google searches to figure this out. Did you have a question? He's telling her it's a flawed policy. There's no such thing as what she's talking about.
And Fairshake has not given anything to John yet.
Not a dime. Not a dime. They haven't even contacted him.
Yes. Why would you propose a flawed idea when the real problem,
So let me
if you
ask
really
you-
want to help the middle class, if you really sincerely want to help people having trouble at the grocery store, it's not price gouging that's the issue. And if you look at it seriously and really want to help them, then let's do something about it together. Fine.
I understand if you want to do a lecture about this, but let's just start with where have you been for the last 30 years as 36 states have price gouging laws, and they.
Okay, so now she's going to misrepresent, Jeff, price gouging laws, which Florida happens to have. So does Texas. Yep. But she's now going to misrepresent now, and we'll go ahead and clue you in exactly what this is. So she's telling you they have price gouging laws. They're very specific on how they work. We'll clue you in after this, but she's being very disingenuous about this.
Have used them effectively. States like Texas and Florida, they've used price gouging laws. Price gouging laws are not price control. Price gouging laws are to say, sometimes markets go off the rails. And when they do, we need some ways to get them back on the rails. We need some curbs on that behavior. So, for example, we watched in the pandemic how prices went up for a whole lot of reasons. They went up partly because we had supply chain kinks, we had problems because of the war in Ukraine that cut supplies of certain commodities.
That had nothing to do
and
with it.
one of the things that happened as a result of that is there were corporations that said, whoa, now that we have inflation, now that prices are up overall,
He just posted it too.
this is a great opportunity for us to raise prices, not just in passing along costs, but to go way, way, way above that. And how do we know that
Oh, but anyway, she's been talking for the better part of this interview, right?
it was way,
said
way
nothing.
above just passing along costs? Look at what happened to their profit margins. If they'd just been passing along costs, profit margins would have stayed about the same. But for some industries, some companies, profit margins shot up. And do you know where they shot up most often? It was in companies or in industries where there was a lot of concentration, a lot of market power. Places where the market is not functioning.
Let's try to put that up there, and I'm hitting every one but
So
that.
you end up with someone, you remember we all talked about egg prices. you end up with something like this giant egg producer, cow Maine. And cow Maine.
I'm with lower level. It's like Charlie Brown. What the hell is she talking
Raises
about?
the price of
It's
eggs.
too much.
Their profit
Shut
margins
up, witch.
increased by 708.
Listen, your party created the inflation, but now you're gonna like go fix it by screwing the companies. Okay, yeah, there you go.
18%. That's not just passing along costs.
Senator,
And that is a time
that's sophistry. Your example on Kraft. Your example on Kraft is even worse.
You finished first.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
She's just
You see
talked for
how
like
rude she is?
she talked for 2 minutes straight, Jeff, and he's trying to get a word in edgewise. This is like that last interview. Are you gonna let me talk? Are you?
The interview is only going to be 6 minutes.
States around the country that already have price gouging
Can
laws
I tell you
in
why
place.
those are fallacious and misleading at best? And the Kraft, your Kraft analogy is even. Why can't I tell you? Please let me tell you. Kraft, you say, was 440% profit increase. The example you used, the prior quarter from the year before, they had a charge of $1.3 billion, an accounting change which wiped out profits. Then they earned what they normally. Let me finish now. They earned.
You didn't let me finish. Look at this
Oh
data.
my God.
Come on.
She's
We
so-
have economic study now after.
She's so righteous, dude. She's
She's
just
talking to
talked for
someone
2.5
that
minutes.
right. She's talking to someone that researches the data all day long, and she's saying we have data. What's the data? And she's what is she? She
she shut him down when he was explaining that they took a $1.3 billion hit, and then the next year, that's why it looked like there was this massive increase because of the loss. So they were just basically making what they normally were. It's an accounting issue, and she tries to cancel him. No, stop talking. Look at him. He's pissed. He's like, dude, I'm gonna reach right in there and strangle her.
Oh
Does Warren think the core? What does she think? Does Warren think the core what?
Put
that back up. The core immune to inflation.
Inflation and margins are static. It's so amazing. I mean, it's just this woman is just I'm shocked. Again, it's because she's in the Democrat Party, so they stick with her. But she stole another group's heritage and claimed it as her own, and gets called out for it. She then gets even more offensive and says that she had high cheekbones and that's why she thought she was Native American all this time. And she's just an offensive individual, and she thinks she's so great. She taught at Harvard and was singled out as a professor at Harvard as and having this status of being the first Native American professor or something along those lines. And here she is. It's unbelievable. It's just so crazy that that we can even sit here and still give her any type of game time to speak. And look at it, she just offends more and more. Look at her. This is the clueless look on her face. You look at this. I mean, this is such a perfect caption right there. That stop, just that stop moment right there. He's looking over like, what the, can you believe this? And look at her just like dumb.
He couldn't even finish explaining the thing.
Economic study.
This is the
And
way
what
it
do they
always
show?
goes.
When there is more concentration,
40 million eggs were destroyed because of avian flu.
When there is more concentration in an industry, we have seen much greater increases in
Do you attribute
the
inflation?
Margins.
That's what you think we need to do to solve it?
They're not random. They are not random one-offs. It is part of the problem. When you've got companies that are gouging consumers on prices, consumers need to know they've got somebody on their side.
Senator,
and
listen, we're trying to help. We're trying to actually do.
Where are you in the 37 states that currently have price gouging laws?
Just quickly on that point, Senator Warren,
can you,
this is Kelly here. Can I just clarify how this would work?
This is the way you never lose an argument because no one can ever say anything back to you, Senator.
The state price gouging laws take
That's just annoying even watching that, Jeff. But she's such a righteous person. She just goes on chatting and talking and blah blah blah. I mean, it's ridiculous. There you go.
2007, Hugo Chavez threatens to put people in jail for price control violations, right? So we're not gouging anymore. Now they have control over a price. And if you go over whatever the price is that the government set, guess what? You're going to jail. Why? Because this is exactly what Hugo Chavez said to the populace, to the poor in Venezuela. He said that your grocery prices aren't a result of government policy. It's a direct result of price gouging by the grocery stores, etc. And so then they had, an exact type of conversation. So whether it's Kamala or this Pocahontas, they're talking about they're using the same talking points. There's no difference. Look at this. Price controls have produced shortages of some items, of many items, and it became worse and worse. We know what happened from 2007 forward to Venezuela. It's not a shock. It's a repeat of history. If you don't study history and you don't study the politics of the history, you're going to repeat that history. And these people are just so demonic. They're so demonically, oriented that they're going to lie to your face, and they're destabilizing our economy and the entire.
Who created the inflation, Jeff? Like, so you create conditions to create a high inflation, right? And so what's the first thing you do? Day one, Biden signs and kills all the drilling in the U.S. As a result, the gas prices go through the roof. They more than double. They got up to like $5-6. They were like $7, almost $8.
Crazy.
And so what do you think that does? So you have to ship it from this place to the distributor to this place and this place. There's your food. There it is right there. That's one of the things that contributes to it. You also have supply chain as well. But this is what the leftists will do. The war in Ukraine and Russia. First of all, we don't see any footage on that. You've got Ukraine going in and attacking Russian sites. Russia is using an amazing restraint, Jeff, because they could wipe it off the planet. They really could. They could just level it. But all we hear about now, what does that have to do with Russia and the Ukraine conflict? Has nothing to do with us getting goods over here. They're complaining it has. She brought it up in this interview because that's one of their talking points. So I saw this clever graphic, Jeff. This is what clever graphic. So you have Elon Musk. You've got the left telling him, the Democrats, there's the donkey telling him to F off. You got Trump over there in the corner, right? He's like, F off, right? You got Tulsi Gabbard over there, F you. The donkey's telling him this is the Democrat Party. And then you got Elon and Trump, and you got Tulsi over there. Then you got RFK Jr. and they're like, F you. Screw off, get out of here. And the next one, hey, why are you guys hoping Trump?
Yeah.
That's just brilliant.
That's awesome. That is great. I
don't know who did this graphic. I'd love to give. I mean, I just saw it posted. There was no attribution. I'd like to give attribution, but whoever did this is like so spot on. It's like, wait a minute. What do you? So, what's the very first thing after RFK Jr. went ahead and said, "Hey, I'm throwing my support behind you"? First of all, he gives that brilliant speech and calls them out on the mat. He gives out this brilliant speech and says how they're no longer the party. He used to be the party of non-wars. Now they're the war party. They used to be for the working man and women. They're no longer for the working man and women. They used to be against censorship. Now they're pro-censorship. He said the party is completely flip-flopped. It's like, it's not something that's anything. It's nothing new here, Jeff. It's not like something new happened here. It's incredible, this whole sort of a thing. And I guess I got to give Europeans some credit, dude. This European was he was kind of imagining like how Americans eat breakfast, and he was kind of close. As a European, this is how I imagine Americans have breakfast. You got your bacon, you got your eggs, a little toast, got your gun mug over here with your gun on the side. And American says, the breakfast gun goes on the left, bro. Oh, man, that's some good stuff right there. You got to love the memes. Now, if you're in the UK, don't laugh at that or like that one because, I'm just saying.
You might go to jail.
I hope they come get me. They threatened to come get the Americans. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come get me. Let's see if you can come and get me.
The question is, what happens if you have to go there? Let's say we were to fly to Manchester to go watch Oasis.
Oh, dude. They could arrest us there. We're going to get arrested. At least we saw Oasis,
in the airport. Hopefully we make it to the Oasis.
We'll get arrested as long as it's after the concert, I'll be okay with it, Jeff.
Right? Yeah, just not at the border when we
They'll be like, were you writing this stuff on X? It's not me. Look at that. That doesn't even look anything like me. That's an AI generated image. That's not me. That's hell no. That doesn't look anything like me. I don't know.
and
Yeah,
left
hell
South
yeah.
Florida to go to East Tennessee. Appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate that
Yeah,
too, man.
XRP Chevy was on there.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great seeing everybody. It was awesome. An awesome time had by all. I wish we could have stayed more, but again, like I said, my neighbor came by. But I heard you stayed. It was good, Jeff. I heard you were on there for the long haul.
3 hours.
Yeah,
No.
it was. That's like the longest broadcast. I mean, we did an hour and a half. I got some tweets I'm going to pull up here. I don't know why I can't find anything. I have everything. Then you can't find it, Jeff. Where is it?
I can't tell you. It's
Here
so
it is.
great. I switched the contact on my left eye, and now I can read everything on the screen.
Jeez.
Earlier when we were sitting here, I couldn't read. I couldn't read.
You had it in the wrong. You had your contact in the wrong eye.
No, I went down a prescription. So
I gotcha.
I can see like my watch with the new prescription. I can see every like little tiny.
Yeah,
detail
that's my.
But
by the way,
I can see my screen. So
my best buddy is an eye doctor, and he said, "Yeah, that's that." He goes, "I was telling him like, yeah, he lowered my prescription." He goes, "That's my favorite old guy technique. They go crazy for it, and they love it every time because they can see this now." That's his favorite. It's just like old guy tweak. You know what that means? You're an old guy. It's this old guy tweak. Look at this, Jeff. This is what I put up here. After Kennedy's speech, I'm like, the Democrats were quick to criticize RFK Jr. now that he's thrown his support behind Trump. But where were those same voices when the Democrat Party kept him out of the primary and off the debate stage? Remember? Oh, you can't debate. No, you don't have enough signatures. You don't have enough this. You don't have enough that. And so when Biden dropped out, the Democrats anointed Harris as the candidate, effectively disenfranchising the 14 million Americans who showed up and voted for Biden. But don't worry. Democracy, Jeff. The word that the Democrats are using over and over again, yet they denied their constituents a voice in choosing their candidate. And where were they when the Biden-Harris administration denied him Secret Service protection? Now, he got Secret Service protection 2 days after Trump was shot, and they just removed it, even though he's on the ballot in at least, I think, 35 plus states. So he's still on the ballot. He's still a presidential candidate. He suspended his campaign. He did not cancel it, and they just removed his Secret Service, Jeff.
But he stayed on the ballot in strong blue states.
Yeah, he
took
did.
himself off ballots in swing states and red states.
So let's face it, Bobby did not leave the Democrat. I should say Democrat Party, not Democratic Party.
The Democrat
Democrat Party left Bobby Kennedy. I hope RFK Jr. will take the reins of the health services. I hope he just takes down the whole thing. The United States is in desperate need of a reset, and this was his speech. By the way, somebody couldn't take his little, he's got that weird cadence with his voice, so somebody converted his voice to AI where he doesn't talk like that. So,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what someone did that. And I watched like part of the speech like that, but I wanted to put one of his videos up here because this dude, and the very next day they came out with the story that he was a drug dealer while he was in college. I'm like,
I just saw that. Like, what? Someone's like, he was my drug dealer. I'm like, okay.
I thought that was. Did you think that was parody? I thought first. I'm like, no, this isn't real. There's no way this is real, dude.
All the crazies come out of the woodwork. So I like this. Mark, my optometrist, asked me to read the wall chart, and I told him all I can see is XRP.
Good man. I like that. Here we go. Here's Bobby Kennedy Jr. on with Shannon Breen.
Why a cyborg now?
Jeff is a cyborg.
Actively, I think President Trump is going to make a series of announcements about other Democrats who are joining his campaign. And I want to make America healthy again, and so does President Trump. So those are objectives. The Wall Street Journal may be worried about shareholder value for pharmaceutical companies, and I think I talk specifically.
Get out of the pharma.
To President Trump about that issue, and he said that he wanted to leave as his legacy healthy children, and that that he was unconcerned about the other implications.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to go down, Jeff. They go in. You're building a team right here. So we already know Elon Musk is on board. I think Tulsi's going to be joining too, but she's an independent. Yeah, take it down.
That's right. Remember when I lost my voice? That's what I sounded like. That was
Yeah, you lost
horrible.
it for a
I
long
lost my
time,
voice. It was
too.
like 3 weeks. It
That was
was
weird. Like
3
you lost
weeks.
it
It
for a
was
long
horrible.
time. It was like, and you kept making it worse by talking more.
I know
You kept
exactly.
like,
It would come
Jeff,
back
don't
a little
talk
bit
anything.
more.
And you kept talking. All right. So this was another bit from his speech, which I thought was just brilliant here.
The U.S. president colludes with or outright coerces media companies to censor political speech. It's an attack on our most sacred right of free expression. And that's the very right upon which all of our other constitutional rights rest. President Biden mocked Vladimir Putin's 88% landslide in the Russian elections, observing that Putin and his party controlled the Russian press and that Putin prevented serious opponents from appearing on the ballot. But here in America, the DNC also prevented opponents from appearing on the ballot. And our television networks expose themselves as Democratic Party organs. Over the course of more than a year in a campaign where my poll numbers reached at times in the high 20s, the DNC-aligned mainstream media networks maintain a near perfect embargo on interviews with me. During his 10-month presidential campaign in 1992, Ross Perot gave 34 interviews on mainstream networks. In contrast, during the 16 months since I declared, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and CNN combined gave only 2 live interviews from me. Those networks instead ran a continuous deluge of hit pieces with inaccurate, often vile, pejoratives and defamatory smears. Some of those same networks and colluded with the DNC to keep me off the debate stage. Representatives of those networks are in this room right now,
crazy.
and I'll just take a moment to ask you to consider the many ways that your institutions have abdicated this really sacred responsibility, the duty of a free press to safeguard democracy and to challenge always the party in power. Instead of maintaining that posture of fear, skepticism toward authority, your institutions have made themselves government mouthpieces and stenographers for the organs of power. You didn't alone cause the devolution of American democracy, but you could have prevented it.
Powerful stuff there, man. He called him out, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. And
He isn't stopping, which is great.
There's a lot of policy things that I don't agree with, Bobby Kennedy on, I do say, lower levels, not like the Las Vegas trip. Yeah, I will say that, look, the parts. This is where you have to find common ground. And people are like, you want to put a Democrat in the Trump administration? Yeah. If Bobby Kennedy is going to be over all the health sector, I want to put him in. We know Elon Musk is a centrist. You know what? And if he's going to be in the slashing department where he slashes 75% of government, put him in, coach. That's what I say. Put him in now, because we want to find agreement where we can align on certain issues and we can put people at what they're really good at. Why do we have to have somebody 100% on board? I'm not 100% on board with Trump. He hires a lot of rhinos. He had tons of rhinos in his last administration. Some of the advisors give him bad info and stuff. But look, I mean, you're not going to agree with 100% everything. But what somebody's good at, and Bobby Kennedy, like who he's been on the vaccines and how he's handled himself, especially a guy who had his own evolutionary sort of awakening, and he's getting hammered by his sister. Was on some program today, just hammering him. By the way, she talks weird like that too. I don't know what happened to her, but she has like that weird sort of the Kennedy sort of a cadence that I'm like, you're not old enough to talk like that. You got to be like in your 90s to be able to talk like that. I don't know what happened to her, but she was just railroading him, man. I don't get it. Very strange.
Department of Government Efficiency.
That's
government efficiency.
Now we're talking, Jeff. Now we're talking about something, right?
That's awesome. But you bring in Tulsi Gabbard, you bring in RFK, and there's going to be others. There'll be some other, and it's in RFK now an independent.
Well, he had, listen, they threw him out of the Democrat Party. He didn't have much of a choice. I mean, he had to run as here's a lifelong, Democrat that got basically railroaded. Here's one more clip that I want to play from him, Jeff, because I think this is another important one that he said, because his speech was long, but it's a good one.
DNC waged continual legal warfare against both President Trump and myself. Then, when a predictably bungled debate performance precipitated the palace coup against President Biden, the same shadowy DNC operatives appointed his successor, Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days. This is profoundly undemocratic. How are people to choose when they don't know whom they are choosing? And how can this look to the rest of the world? My father and my uncle were always conscious of America's image abroad because of our nation's role as the template for democracy, the role model for democratic processes, and the leader of the free world. Instead of showing us her substance and character, the DNC and its media organs engineered a surge of popularity for Vice President Harris based upon, well, nothing. No policies, no interviews, no debates, only smoke and mirrors and balloons in a highly produced Chicago circus. How did the Democratic Party choose a candidate that has never done an interview or debate during the entire election cycle? We know the answers. They did it by weaponizing the government agencies. They did it by abandoning democracy. They did it by suing the opposition and by disenfranchising American voters. What most alarms me isn't how the Democratic Party conducts its internal affairs or runs its candidates. What alarms me is the resort to censorship and media control and the weaponization of the federal agencies.
Think about that, Jeff. Damn powerful shit, right? We haven't heard a powerful speech like that in a long time. We haven't heard a powerful speech since his uncle gave the Secret Society speech.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the direction that we're moving in. And if we keep bringing, and in previous administrations, you always look around and you're like, oh, if they would only bring this core group into the administration, things would be great. We're already seeing a coalescing of the new administration. Now that it'd be great to see Vivek Ramaswamy as part of it, bring again Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, and there's going to be a number of other key people in the next administration. It'll set us on a path to success. It'll be amazing. It'll be really, really amazing. And we have to think about it from a business perspective as well as a political perspective. We got a clean house. We've got an enemy sitting on our doorstep, inside of our doorstep. They're in our house right now, and got to get them out. And that's all the illegal invaders that are here. They're wreaking havoc on our cities. They don't have any respect for this country. They're brought here in mass, not to assimilate, but to, it's more of a conquest. And again, causing chaos. They're putting large groups of these illegals into poor communities as well, and they're giving them stuff. It's crazy. They're coddling and taking care of them and giving them thousands of dollars a month, putting them up in these, in hotels and putting them up all over the place. We see the outcome of what's happened on the streets in the UK and in France, etc. We see what the outcome could be here. We have a chance right now to fix it. We also want to, as a crypto community, we want to make sure that the innovation is going to flourish in this country. And we keep repeating this, and we're going to have to keep repeating this over and over again, because it has to sink in that if you don't have the right players, your crypto is going to be irrelevant when they take away all your freedoms. And, and we're seeing and witnessing what they're talking about, and whether they do it now, ends up in the Supreme Court, your freedoms will be gone for a period of time, just like it was during COVID. Your freedoms were gone in many states. Many states, like in Michigan, the restaurants were closed for over a year. Here in Florida, they're open 4 or 5 weeks later, and then the rest obviously was okay here. But other states, you saw what they're capable of. Why would you want to go back? And why would you believe that any of them on the left have any way forward just supporting crypto and making sure it's like it just makes no sense. There's a couple of Democrats out there. I would like to see them leave the Democrat Party as well as the Democrat Party implodes. I'm wondering how they're going to try to bring it back, because that pendulum within their party has to swing. Right now, it's so far left, it's chaos. We have like a Richie Torres in New York. And that guy's always hitting hard on X nonstop. And we saw, he called out and he's pro crypto, but the rest
at some
of
point
it,
they're going to railroad him though. They'll get him right out.
Yeah, until
like
they
did
railroad
Tulsi.
him. It's like they did to Tulsi, but for some reason he's going to keep supporting his party, no matter what. So you might elect him, someone like that, but at the end of the day, he's going to vote along party lines, and he's going to be one of them. So you always have to be very cautious. Voting will have outcome, and you have to vote. Don't stay home. Get out there and vote. There was someone on earlier in the coffee time, and he had said that he hadn't voted for years, but this is the year that he's coming out to vote.
Good.
And it's critical. But many times before, Chip, people would say, "Oh, my vote doesn't count. It doesn't matter." It matters now more than ever. And if you can also participate, go in and be a poll watcher. Go in and request the mail-in ballots. You can go to your not Secretary of State, but to the election board in your area, the supervisor of election, and you can participate in the viewing of the mail-in ballots that they have and match signatures. There's a lot of things that can happen, and they are recruiting illegals in this country in different states to get out and vote. And so there's, people on the ground are needed urgently to go and help. And you can find out, look for your local GOP party, because they're organizing all over the country to help and support the cause.
So that's good. I want to put this.
Those are my 2 cents, Chip.
It's good stuff, Jeff. JWH said there's a fight for free speech now, fellas. Dara Pavlovsky, Rumble, YouTube, BTC Magazine. What's happening here? 70 days prior to election. Deep state 3-letter agencies cracking down. They're hoping the elections. I'm very concerned. You should be, and everybody should be concerned. Chris Pavlovsky, who basically is the CEO and founder of Rumble, said, "I'm a little late to this, but for good reason. I've just safely departed from Europe." So he was over in Europe, and he saw the writing on the wall. France threatened Rumble, and now they've crossed the red line. Here, let's put this, because they took down. This is what he was commenting on. They crossed the red line by arresting Telegram CEO Pavel Durov, and then reportedly for not censoring speech. They arrested a guy because he didn't censor speech, which is supposedly the state speech that's endorsed. Rumble will not stand for the behavior. We will use every legal means available to fight freedom of expression, a universal human right. We are currently fighting in the courts of France, and we hope Pavel Durov's immediate release. And I had said, well, listen, this is the left. They love censorship and control. Free speech is not safe around leftists. Make no mistake, this is exactly Kamala Harris to a T, without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly Kamala Harris.
I mean,
exactly.
You're not on the left if you're not censoring, if you're not controlling. Then there was a soundbite from, gosh, I wish I grabbed that soundbite. I gotta find it, Jeff. Gosh, why do I not have that soundbite? I should have had that.
Shit show. That's right. And something else with Michigan, every time we'd go up to Michigan, I'd always say prices in Michigan, you go to restaurants, were always cheaper than here. And you could get a pint of beer over there. It'd be like $5, maybe $6 a pint. Over here, it's always a little bit more. Food, obviously more expensive. This last time that we were in Michigan, every single restaurant, I'll go to get a hamburger. What used to be like, $15 is now $20, $21. Pints of beer were like $8. I'm like, what the heck has happened in Michigan? All their prices are way, way up. I mean, it's just like crazy, just outlandish.
It's insane. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's happening pretty much everywhere. Unfortunately, that's the Why can't I find this? My
Look at
gosh,
that
I gotta.
super sticker from XRP Plumbing there, 1999.
Holy cow, 1999. Thank you for XRP Plumbing. You guys are awesome. Love the love here. Okay, just like that. I did find it. Let me just download it really quick here because it's always. I wish they just had a better way of doing this.
Oh, Wayne County is definitely corrupted.
Okay, so this is all you need to see about this guy Walls. Walls, the VP candidate. Listen, if you were really in charge and you thought you were going places, you wouldn't pick the worst VP candidate since Kamala Harris. You just wouldn't, unless you wanted to burn this guy's career and never hear from him again. Jeff, do you know who the VP was who ran with Hillary? Exactly. That's my whole point. It's like, that's the point. Nobody. This is what you do when you know you don't have a shot in hell, but you want to see if you can glitz it up to see if you can win. You pick somebody who's a.
Let me think. Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Tim. I'll give you his name. His first name was Tim.
Oh, he's so irrelevant.
Yeah, he's irrelevant. Nobody cares.
Can't even remember his name. Oh, Tim Kaine.
Tim Kaine.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
I would. Yeah.
And he's running against
There he
a
is.
powerful. We gotta get his rival, the guy that's running against him. This guy is gonna take him out. And Tim Kaine's all over X complaining that he can't. Tim douchebag. I think that was it. I don't know who called that, but I think that was actually it. But let me put him on here because I
remember what he looks like.
Here's the only thing, Jeff, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. But this guy Walls and I are the same age, Jeff. How can it be? Please tell me how that can be. Tell me he's not 74 years old. Anyway, this is the only clip you need to hear from Walls to know you can just scratch his name off the list. Here he is.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Well,
there's a lot of things he said that are wrong there.
Everything he said was wrong, Jeff.
Pretty much everything.
The First Amendment guarantees free speech, and it isn't conditional around what you think, disinformation. No, there's nothing about this. Let's listen to this one time because there's a lot to unpack here.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Misinformation.
First of all, there's no such thing as hate speech. Right. You can say anything you want to say. This whole idea that you invented something that conditions free speech. I can say right now that Walls is a complete moronic idiot.
Well, like
is that hate speech?
Well, what's a hate crime?
There's
you
killed somebody. You killed somebody or hurt somebody.
Doesn't matter what your other motivation was. Your motivation was to kill them and harm them as an individual. Does it matter that you had another layer of why you wanted to do it? I mean, it's just amazing. They try to bring this all. They keep conditioning, right? They put all these conditional elements to the crimes, or in this case, right? Like you said, the Constitution is very clear. It's freedom of speech.
Yeah, and it also says that in the First Amendment, it says that Congress may make no laws that inhibit free speech. They can't even pass. Congress can't even pass. They shouldn't have been able to pass something called hate speech. You can't pass anything that infringes on the free speech. If you don't like it, listen to somebody else. That's why I'm not for censoring people, Jeff. That's why you have nut jobs on X posting $1,000 XRP, 40,000 XRP. They have the right to say it. They should always have the right to say it. I don't agree with it, but again, you don't have to give them an audience.
Right. It's very clear. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Right. That was what the people created that, not a government. No government created something that limited its power. The people created that. It's the only constitution in 250 years that actually limits the government. You think that some other government would have caught on like, hey, that sounds pretty good. Maybe we want that over here. No, nobody, Jeff.
Right. And then the second, which is important to the first. So you always have to read these two together.
Yeah.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Shall not be infringed. There's
doesn't tell you what kind of arms. There's no
bump stocks. No nothing. Anything. And this is what happens. At some point, you'll see some country will get the right person in the power, and they will actually, like in the UK, you can see it happen where they go like, hey, you know what? We need our own form of the Second Amendment here because it's never going to happen again. You're never going to jail us. Okay, so now you got people getting knifed. Like, look at the knife thing. So like, no one's calling to ban knives, and that's the primary weapon. You just had a guy knifed in the neck. He had a young kid there pushing in a stroller with his wife
and his wife, dog, kid.
He almost bled out, and the perpetrators are like laughing at him, making fun of him. It's gruesome. It's thank God the guy survived, but he was basically on the ground. Luckily, they got him to a hospital fast enough. But if you hit a jugular, if you hit the vein there, he's like bleeding out.
They definitely hit something.
Oh,
I mean, it was crazy. He was bleeding all over. He made it all, like a half a block, and then he finally collapsed. That was just crazy. Crazy.
Well, they got the 4 people, and they're up on murder charges. You think anything's going to happen to him? No. Nothing's going to happen.
Not in the UK. Well, because they got to make room for the meme guys.
Anyway, I always like to end things on a good note, but I wanted to play this video that somebody was making the rounds here. Go ahead and take that, Jeff.
No, this is key. It's like every time you go to a restaurant now, right? So it costs $150 for me and my 3 kids to eat at a restaurant. I can buy a week's worth of the same dinner. It's just getting ridiculous.
South Florida is expensive.
South Florida is definitely, a little bit pricey.
My wife went to somewhere in Miami. She had a smoothie, 2 smoothies. Her and her friend had 2 smoothies and a sandwich. It was like $94. What? Yeah. It's insane. Here's President Trump. He wasn't president then, but he was. Hey, what's up, Crypto Bag Boy? This is from 2014. Remember everyone's doing the ice challenge where they dumped ice on people's heads because they were trying to raise money for ALS.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, something I forgot about, but in 2014, you're supposed to nominate who you want to go next, and look who he nominated. But the guy Welch, he never did it. Let's listen in.
Been called out by everybody for the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Homer Simpson, Mike Tyson, Vince McMahon, like everybody's going crazy over this thing. I guess they want to see whether or not it's my real hair, which it is. So here's what I'm going to do. Miss Universe and Miss USA, I own it. They're here. They're going to really do a number on me. I'm challenging President Obama, my son.
Obama.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
he never did it.
I remember when he did it. Yeah. Yep.
He never did it, Jeff. Nope.
Donald, my son Eric. Let's go, ladies.
But Eric and Don did.
Look at that.
What a mess.
There you go.
That's There you go. Have you guys heard about Putin opening the border of Russia to people who don't agree with the political establishment of their country? No. Here's another good one. Germans make the SIG sauer. Why not use them? SIGs are great tools.
Good. Yeah, SIG sauer.
They're great.
For sure.
They're awesome. I have the M18, the P320 M18. It's really nice. Holds 21 or 17 plus 1, 21 plus 1. It's nice. Very, very cool.
There you go, guys. That's all we have. The time we have today. Look, there's so many good things in here. Is that a deep fake? That wasn't a deep fake. I don't know what you're saying. That was Trump from 2014.
Yeah, that was for real.
They didn't even have deep fakes back in 2014.
Went to a bar in Las Olas, $97, 3 drinks, 2 Jack and Cokes, and it's insane. It is, but the band was hot as shit. Well, there you go. So that's what you're.
Yeah.
But places down there, you're going to spend probably $17, $18 a drink, up to maybe 24.
By the way, that's where I met my wife in Las Olas. Just saying.
There you go.
Just saying. There you go. And there you have it. And that's the end. Harris supporters equal paid actors. No, that's true. Primanti's, yeah, Primanti's restaurant. They have a Primanti's down in well, it's down on the beach. They got it on the beach,
there's
but
the one over at Sunrise, and
my buddy was just in Pittsburgh,
24-hour pizza.
Yeah, my buddy was just in Pittsburgh, and he went there. He went to Primanti's. I used to love Primanti's in college, man.
Why is that one brought up? Wait.
Because that's when Harris was there. She went to Primanti's.
Oh, she went to Primanti's. Oh.
They had in Pennsylvania though. This is when they had so they have people have been posting the ads that they run.
So great.
They try to get the crowds there.
Pizza.
Did you notice if there's no one like Megan Thee Stallion or somebody like a singer or something? And what was that garbage they said at the DNC? Like George W. Bush is going to be speaking. Beyonce is going to be playing. People, it's special guests. They were gaslighting once again. Nobody showed up.
No.
Cash velocity. I like that.
I like that. That is a cool.
It is an island of sanity, and we'll see. We'll keep it going as long as we can. We're the few. I think we're the only like geopolitical crypto sort of a show out there, Jeff. Mostly geopolitical these days, but still, it's way too important not to talk about it.
The most important right now. Yeah.
And I like all the like minds that come in here. And
where's the whale's rib?
Well, the whale's rib is in dude. First of all, do you know the first restaurant I ever ate in South Florida? 1986. The whale's rib. The greatest. Yeah. The whale's rib is the greatest restaurant ever. I've been going there since 1986. There's one restaurant I've been frequenting for how many years is that? I don't know. Do the math. It's a long time. But
I don't even know.
Yeah, the whale's rib would be a good meetup. Anybody going to Swell? Yeah, in Pompano Beach, dude. Or not Pompano. Hang on a second.
Let me look it up.
Deerfield. Sorry, I meant to say Deerfield.
Oh,
Deerfield Beach. You know, on the beach there's that little hook there where by the I'm trying to think what hotels there. Dude, it's legendary. You've never been to Deerfield Beach?
Yeah, I haven't been to Deerfield. I used to go to Deerfield all the time because my dad lived in Parkland. So
no, I'm talking about east
Parkland
though.
To Deerfield
down by the beach.
No, I know. So that's where I'd go to the beach was Deerfield.
Yeah, the
Beach.
pier.
But from down here, I'm not going
because the pier used to be if you're on the one side, you were like above 40. If you're on the other side, you were under 40. So it's like
I remember the pier. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the pier, but the whale's rib is like a staple. It's been there forever and a day. There's some other things.
The food looks amazing. Holy crap! Look at this.
Best rock shrimp ever. Best everything there is the best, dude. The whale's rib rules.
Look how good that looks.
My kids love that restaurant too. My kids are always like, "Can we go to the whale's rib?" It's like it's always the best, man.
And it's a hole in the wall place. Look at that,
dude. Have you never been to the whale's rib?
I've never been to the whale's rib. Like I said,
we have
last time I was in Deerfield was
dude. It's the dirtiest, stinkiest bar like ever. And I remember I went there originally before they made it larger, right? But it used to just be the one side. And that table that I would eat at every time, I try to request that table because I've been eating there for 40 years. It's the greatest ever. I think it's the only restaurant that I've eaten there that long. So,
well, it's kind of like what's the place? I don't know. I can't think of it. Hang on. Hamburger place, Hollywood.
I don't go to Hollywood
Beach. See,
I try not to go to Hollywood.
Let's
Moneybags missed the stream. Happy Sunday, gents. Well, you can rewind it, dude. It won't be as much fun because you can't talk in the comments, but you will be able to watch. But thank you for that, Bob. Really appreciate it.
So that place is as much a hole in the wall as Le Tub, right? Le Tub's right on the beach, but when you walk in, this is it. They got this tiny little kitchen, and when you walk in, it's like it's so strange because they have like a toilet and they have a
that used to be like the one over there on the avenue over there in Atlantic Ave. It used to be an old gas station. It was a dump.
And you look at this place and you're like, why the hell am I going here to eat? But their burgers are freaking amazing.
Dude, we got to go to
TG's.
And we got to go to the whale's rib.
Yeah. Tiki is good too, but the whale's rib.
Whale's rib is legendary, dude. Especially in rock shrimp season. Man,
oh man.
They're the best, yeah.
Money bags. Missed the stream. Did you pull that up?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I was doing searches. Hillsborough Boulevard. That's right.
That's it. Off of Hillsborough. Yep. All the way down to Hillsborough. It's been there forever and a day.
Swell. And it's so swell.
Yeah. Well, if you come down there. So Jeff and I are trying to get tickets. They're trying to get in. We'll see if they let us in. I don't know if they will.
Island's starving. I'm starving now too. I shouldn't have brought that up. Man.
Dude, I'm telling you, really the best rock shrimp ever, dude. If it's rock shrimp season.
Gotta go to Whale's Rib. Get the fish sandwich. Oh man,
fish sandwich is great. Oh, Key West style.
We got to go there.
And the lobster bisque is phenomenal too, man. I love their lobster bisque. We'll have to meet up there. Bring some of
Little Havana. I don't really go down there either.
I don't go down there as much, But I used to, back when I worked in Miami, I would be down there all the time. But no. But listen,
there we go. We're gonna have a meetup at the Whale's Rib and. Crypto Whelp's coming over from Belgium.
Yeah, we're not going to tell the whale's rib either. It's like 100 people are going to show up there one day. Like you can't even fit 100 people in that place. It's so small. One side's the bar, and the other side's where the eatery is. The people in there are cool. I think like some of the same faces in there that have worked there for like 20 or 30 years. I mean, really, it's unbelievable. It was my buddy Tony Kiss that introduced me to that place, and I've since lost touch with Tony. I wish Tony, if you're watching this, give me a ring. But I don't know what happened to your camera. It just went off air.
I closed the La Tub page in it.
That's because it's telling you to go to Whales Rib, Jeff. That's what that's a sign right there.
Exactly it. So then this came back up. I'm like, what the? Happy as a clam.
Yeah. Do they have the inside? Like, where are the inside pictures of the place? Was it on diners and drive-ins and all that? I might have been on there. I don't know. There's no inside pictures of the Whales Rib. Come on.
This. They don't have a lot of stuff going on. Our tail. Let's see. No, that's about it. Look at that. Let's see if we can
find some pictures here, dude. Okay, here's a picture.
That lobster.
All right, there we go.
Let's sandwich. See. God, that fish sandwich looks good. Look at that.
The fish sandwich is yummy.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Look at that. It's all crispy.
Look at how seedy that is.
Nice.
The license plate is seedy. It's dirty. It's seedy. I'm trying to think if there's
Look at that. Look at that at the top. Man, that looks good.
How come there's no inside shots at this place?
Do they have burgers there?
Yeah, this is like the yeah, they got burgers there. They have everything, Jeff. There it is right there. The old Whales Rib. I used to have a Whales Rib shirt. I wish I still had that damn thing. This is the bar side though. Where I'm looking for where you eat the food. There it is. There's a good picture of it right there. There it is.
Yep.
Yep. It's dark in there. It's seedy. It smells like an old stinky bar. It's fantastic. See, like here, Justified picture of the Whales Rib.
There you go.
Good shit. Some of the best, man.
That Island saying we only got 15 likes, 65 viewers. Let's see.
That's insane.
We have 56 people on YouTube, and between X, I've got the lowest views right now on X, but on the chain we have 108. Chip, you got 243, and then I've got 53. Mine are equal.
Yeah, so we got 460 total.
Here. We have 460 total.
Yeah, and there's like these pictures of people on the walls that have been there forever and a day. Yeah, it's.
We need to move everyone from X over to YouTube. Keep everyone.
I don't care where they watch us, Jeff. I don't care where they watch us, really. Look at that.
We need an X platform. That's what we need.
All right.
Yeah, look at that. What is that right there? The bride one's right there in the kind of lower second row to the right, bottom second row.
This one here, Whales Rib. This one.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. That's like some kind of like chicken fingers or something. I don't know what that is. That's fish or something. Who knows?
Whale juice.
There it is. Conch chowder. They have good conch chowder too. The mahi. Yeah. They always have good fish specials too. Definitely going, man. We're definitely going. Anyway, we got to get out of here, Jeff. It's 1:22. We got to get the hell out of here.
Is it? As long as not everyone drops into Twitch. That's right.
No, dude. We're not ruining our one viewer, man. That ain't happening.
We have
not
two
happening
today. There are two.
That's okay. Two can drop in, but just don't want any less than that.
It might have been. I don't know who was joining in Twitch. Might have been Crypto G or someone else was joining over there, which was great.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hate watching on X. I do the same thing. I'll get caught up in that. But sometimes, I wish there was a way to post not that X wants to do this, but the YouTube video, because you got to go try to find the video sometimes, like something you start watching something on the way by, and then you get distracted, and you're like, "This is." If Elon Musk were to build, I know he's building like an email platform, but he's building a couple different platforms, but a proper competitor to YouTube that has, because the problem is you do a space and it's audio only, or if it's video, you can't, it like drops off. There's no page where all of this stuff lives. And that's when he does that, the game changer. That's what we really need to be on. Our audience will grow again because we've been, screwed.
Viewer to like ratio is down more than Solana.
Yeah,
that's true.
We're not. We used to be the slowest growing channel. Now we're the slowest dying channel. Where we lose 50 to 60 subs every single week.
That's on YouTube.
They don't like our message. Yeah, on YouTube, but it's growing on X.
YouTube is yeah. Now we're growing on X. That's all right. But we got our diehards here, which is awesome on YouTube.
That's all we care about.
Until X has a video platform, YouTube is still the easiest to use.
Oh, that's good. So you get that, you go jump over. Perfect. All right. Well, listen, guys, cool. Thank you for jumping in today. Really appreciate you. We're going to get out of here. Jeff, anything you want to say? Parting words? We get out of here.
Hour 24.
Yeah,
we'll be back. We'll be back on Wednesday evening, which will be awesome. So Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back with you guys.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff. Ow!
XRP.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.